All right, Bears, we've got some Bulls and Bears. Sorry, I almost forgot the Bulls. Bulls and Bears. Hello, Bulls and Bears. We've got some housing bubble news to get caught up on. We've got VP and presidential hopeful Harris coming out there and discussing what she's going to do, her economic plan, and it includes, looks like, inflating the housing bubble, making the housing prices go even higher. So we're going to talk about that. Also, rents have fallen across all different room sizes. Studios, one bedroom, two bedroom, three bedroom, four bedroom, all have fallen. Not a lot, not a crash, but it's the first time this has happened in many years. So is it a sign of what's to come? We're going to get into that. A couple other things on the economy. Also, a new celebrity lookalike for yours truly, me. They're saying I look like a musician. He's more of an EDM type of guy, the turntable type of dude that gets up there and does he write his own songs? We'll talk about it here in a few minutes here. My celebrity lookalike. We'll talk about that later in this video. First, let's go ahead and get right into what Redfin is reporting. Redfin, they're saying rents have fallen across all bedroom counts for the first time in 4 years. So not a big drop. The nationwide median asking rent was 1,647, down $53 from the all-time high in 2022. Wow, not much of a drop, especially we consider the magnitude and the dramatic increases that we've seen, especially since 2020. But even before 2020, I think people forget, even before 2020, prices were going up all the way. Ever since the prices bottomed out, home prices bottomed out, rents actually dipped and bottomed out 2011, 2012, depending on what state you're talking about, but pretty close to that year, no matter what you're talking about here. But let's take a look here and we'll see what's going on. We're also going to talk about some cities that have seen some pretty high rents, or pretty big rent drops rather. So here we go. It's different colors there. 0 to 1 bedroom is green. Of course, the gray has 3+ bedrooms, so that's the most expensive. And we see not much of a drop here. I mean, we're still basically even year over year, which is actually saying something because prior to this, every year was higher than the year before. And now we're starting to see some leveling out and actually a dip in year over year prices. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. We've got millions of people coming to the U.S., obviously. These people, some of them end up on the streets. Some of them are given hotel rooms. Some of them end up in housing, believe it or not. There's actually programs for people coming to the country. A lot of them get together and chip in, so to speak, and still end up, getting a place. But let's talk about something else here today. This is going to be Harris, who is a presidential hopeful. She's hopeful to be president. Polls say that she's winning, actually. Here's her plan. She's going to implement protections for renters. Folks, we saw this in 2020. And what happened to rents? Rents exploded higher. People knew they couldn't be evicted. A lot of people quit paying their rent. And what did landlords do? What did the owners of these homes do? Did they lower the rent for the other people? No, they raised the rent even more on the people that were paying because they had to make up for the people that weren't paying, right? Remember that? Harris to endorse protections for renters and removal of key tax benefits for Wall Street investors buying homes. We're going to talk about Wall Street investors here in a minute. Actually, the Wall Street investor part of it, I might actually agree with that because when you have multi-billion-dollar companies out there buying real estate, in some cases hundreds of homes, entire subdivisions at a time, it throws prices up where most people can't afford. And a lot of these investment firms, hedge funds, big investment companies, a lot of them have a direct line of borrowing to the Fed and other big banks. So it's really not fair when you look at it. So I'd have to read into it. Getting rid of tax benefits, though, that's not going to do nearly enough. Wall Street, if you want prices to come down, Wall Street needs to be completely removed from housing. Many people would say that housing should just be a place to live. It shouldn't be an investment tool. It shouldn't be a profit for billionaires, which it's been for a long time, and I doubt it's ever going to change. But when you have, again, billionaires with an unlevel playing field where they get access to trillions of dollars in liquidity, right? And then all they have to do is raise the rents so they can pay back their 2-3% loans that they take, essentially free money because they can just raise the rents after buying hundreds of homes, pricing out the competition. It's bad, folks. But anyways, that's what Miss Harris is saying that she's going to do. I see a lot more harm than good in the things I'm hearing so far. But wait, it actually gets worse. What's one of the things that we've talked about here that's keeping home prices propped up, or one of the many things, but pretty big one? The down payment assistance programs, right? When people can't afford homes, when most people are priced out, usually prices will drop, right? But when people can borrow money or get down payment assistance programs to cover the down payment, look at this. Harris to propose $25,000 down payment assistance support for first-time home buyers. Now, some people out there will say, oh, that's great. It's going to help people get into a home. She's making the home ownership dream possible for so many people now with this. Think about the flip side, folks. This is going to make prices, if not go up, at least not fall. If you get the nationwide down payment assistance program of $25,000, up to $25,000, folks, this is going to make home prices, I think, go up, and it's going to prevent any sort of correction if this were to be implemented. Now, we'll have to see how it all plays out. We'll have to get all the details and the ins and outs. Probably it'll be increased. Once they see home prices went up even more here in a few months, they're going to say, oh, we've got to increase it. It's got to be $50,000. I mean, who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, what do you think about all this? It's insanity, folks. So instead of a move towards more of a free market, more price discovery, it's more manipulation, more programs, more tinkering with the markets, if you will. Insane, folks. But let's talk about this here. Look what investors are doing here. Again, out of Redfin, investors' home purchases post the biggest increase in 2 years. So even with prices way above the 2008 housing bubble, investors still are not afraid. You know why? Because they know that they've got a corner on the market, right? They own so many rentals, they can just raise the rents now, and people can't afford to buy a home. Most people are priced out of it. I mean, even with the down payment assistance program, most people are still priced out of buying a home. So now they're extra confident that they can come in. I'm talking about the investors, and there's small investors too. I'm not blaming people that just buy one or two or three properties. But when you own thousands and thousands and thousands of homes and you're price gouging, raising the rents, that really changes the market, and it prices a lot of people out of homes, unfortunately. Home investor purchases post biggest increase in 2 years. So when you know you can come in and just raise rents because people, again, are priced out of the housing market for the most part, and you own so many homes, you basically have the renters, either you or on the streets, you've got a lot of position, right? So this is dangerous, folks, and it's 1 in 6 homes. Yeah, 1 in 6 homes were bought by investors, and in some states it's even worse. It's 1 in 2 homes in some states. Single-family homes are the most popular property among investors, making up 69% of their purchases. Yeah, because single-family homes, you don't have to worry about an HOA. You don't have to worry about neighbors being connected. Yeah, so actually it started dropping for a while, but now it started ticking back up again. So what does that tell you? It's interesting if you look back at Housing Bubble 1, investors started backing out before the housing bubble went bust. They started decreasing their purchases in 2006. So they saw the writing on the wall a little bit early. Here they started decreasing, but now we're seeing it go back up again. So what do they know? Do they know that the powers that be are not going to let home prices drop, that the bubble's just going to continue to get bigger? Is that why it decreased and now it's starting to go back up again? I mean, please let me know what you think about that down in comments. It's absolutely insane, though, that we even have to be talking about this right now. Next, U.S. consumer confidence falls in June as Americans fret about near-term prospects. So what are people concerned about? Well, they're concerned about the cost of living. We know that. They lost confidence. The Conference Board, a business research group, said Tuesday that its consumer confidence index fell The measure of American short-term expectations for income, businesses, and job market fell. Quote, confidence pulled back in June, but remained within the same narrow range it's held throughout the past 2 years. Well, as long as people can continue to finance this debt, if the balance transfers are still available, if the new credit, aka debt, if that's still available, then confidence will remain. I'm a consumer. I'm confident. I'm confident that the cost of living is going to continue to go up, and that we're not going to see any deflation or price corrections in the housing market. Automobile prices will continue to come down unless they come out with some program for that one, which I mentioned in my last report. What if we get a down payment assistance program for cars because the price of cars gets out of reach, and then all of a sudden, just like 2020, you get all this people with money, and they're going to go out and bid up the prices, and prices will skyrocket again, folks. It's insane. It's massive. But let's talk about my latest celebrity lookalike. I've had quite a few on this channel. Most of them, some of them are actually pretty close. I can't even remember the names right now. Mostly like B-list actors and stuff like that. Here we go. Let me bring it up here. This is me, folks. Ready? I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right. Deadmau5. Deadmau5. Let me enlarge this here. And he's I guess he doesn't think he's very good looking because he has to wear this thing on his head when he's out there making his music there. So is that me, folks? Let me bring it up larger here. Here we go. Deadmau5. Is that me? See if I can zoom in a little bit. Whoa, didn't mean to zoom that much. What do you think, folks? Pretty close? I just got to get up. What is that? I got to get a Minecraft tattoo on my neck. Huh. I guess if I didn't have to worry about ever having to work a job or be appealing to an employer, I would just get tattoos all over. But nah, my music's not that popular. So, what do you think about the celebrity lookalike? What do you think about Miss Harris's plan for the housing market and the economy? Please let me know down below. It's insane, folks. Buckle up, strap in, because it's going to get even crazier as we continue to go along here. The manipulation just has to get bigger and bigger and bigger to keep these fake prices where they're at, folks. And they've got to cover up this whole illusion of a growing economy. You know it. Peace, everybody. Keep stacking by.